You know that's Sammy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Welcome back to Piece of Chaos. I am honored here to have my cousin Jake in town for the first live podcast in my studio in person. Yeah. So, we welcome, Jake.
Thank you.
You spent the weekend here in the suburbs.
It's been wonderful.
And watched the Super Bowl defeat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jake is not an Eagles fan, despite his heritage, but feels my pain of watching the Eagles lose by watching his Minnesota Vikings lose.
Just football depression.
So many times. So I think there's lots of interesting stuff about the relationship, because Jake is half my age and also my godson, which is weird because I'm not that godly. But
I think it's the spirituality in general. Just I don't know. I think that's the thing that, like, the godson relationship or whatever. Like, I can look to you for like spiritual advice or like that side of my life. I feel like I can come to you for that. It's like a mentorship. And I was just telling my mom last night, like, I think we share a lot of the same views and opinions on a lot of stuff. And it's almost like because of that age gap, there's like a mentorship level to it. And I like really appreciate that part of it. So the godson thing is still,
Yeah, it's funny, like, because it definitely makes me feel like it's almost like this weird time passage thing. Because one of the funniest memories that Beth and I always talk about is when I don't know why I don't know what, it might have been like Christmas or something. I don't know why we were in church. We were in church for something, maybe somebody's wedding or something, but you were really little. You were like 4, and you were just walking back and forth on the pews behind us.
I was a little shit.
Yeah, and Beth was like, "Hey, Jake, how you doing? What have you been up to?" And you're just like, "I don't know, just playing, walking around." Like, that's what you're up to when you're 4.
Yeah.
And it was just so funny. But now, like, you're a dude with like tattoos and like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's really weird. But also, like, I don't know, it's really humbling to see what you've done and like all the stuff that you've come through. And now you live in California, which is great. So you got to experience this week, besides the burbs, the LA traffic. So let's hear about your commute.
Oh God. So yeah, I have a couple weeks off of work, so I know I wanted to make the trip up to visit, and I tried to plan it accordingly. I knew LA always heard that LA traffic is bad, so I was like, okay, I'll leave it like 1 or 2.
But you also thought I lived in LA.
Yeah, I thought it was like closer to LA, but and so I had been checking, like, just in the little planning that I did, I'd been checking Apple Maps, and it'd be like, oh, 2.5 hours to LA, like, oh, 3 hours to LA. So I was using that to plan, and then I got the address, and it's just like northwest of LA, but I ended up leaving an hour later than I originally wanted to, and that put me in like primetime traffic.
Yeah.
So I'm like talking to Matt, telling him, just keeping him updated for when I'm going to get there or get here. And he's like, well, maybe you should take the PCH. I was like, that's a great idea. So if I just like continued straight to the coast, I was going to catch the sunset. It was like perfect timing to catch the sunset. I was like, if it's going to be a long drive, it might as well be a pretty drive.
Yeah.
So I get there literally as soon as I get onto the 1, I guess, and like make the turn onto the PCH. Dead stop traffic from a crash that happened like a mile down the PCH. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not driving the PCH, but I'm just sitting there like looking out the window watching the sunset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. It was standstill for like an hour and a half.
Yeah. For people that don't live in Los Angeles, first of all, the traffic's insane. You can have 6 lanes on either side, not move. And then the PCH is 4 lanes, beautiful, mountain on one side, ocean on the other. But if one person fucks up, it's
the whole thing.
It's over.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like, we were like, man, you could have flown back east for the time it took you to drive
Yep.
up here. But
Yeah.
no, it's been really good having you here, and just it's a weird thing to leave your family and not be around them and be separated by them for so long. And then, you know, even though you're here on the West Coast for a couple of years, which is great. But the thing that always gets me is like the connection between cousins. And I never really heard anybody talk about this before, but like, it just seems to be this, and there must be something to it, like the DNA or whatever, because it doesn't matter that we don't get to hang out all the time. There's just a connection.
Yeah.
And I had this, like my dad's family too, like those cousins. I mean, it was funny. You probably never met her, but my dad's sister's daughter, she's a little older than you, I think. But I never saw her. I saw her maybe 2 times in my life because I moved and she was little, and we just never hung out. But she got really into like film and TV and stuff like that. So when she was like 20, she came out to visit. And I picked her up from the airport, and it was like we'd known each other and then been hanging out our whole lives.
Up right where you left
It's
off.
weird,
Yeah.
and I don't know what that is, but it's cool, and to have you here is really cool. You know, I wanted to talk to you about, like, you've done some pretty amazing things. So whatever you can talk about and where you've been, like, because that is experiences that people don't normally get, like the countries you've been to already and all that stuff. So, like, I've been to Japan a bunch, but like I've dropped in to Tokyo and left, so I didn't get to explore. So, like, maybe you talk about Japan a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I can speak to my travels a little bit. It's tough to like talk about it because it's, I don't know, people can like probably look at it and be like, oh, you've done so much, but I don't really feel like I've done all that much. But yeah, so I spent 3.5 years in Japan, in the Navy, and I was on a ship most of the time, but I did get a chance to do a little bit of exploring, and we went on a couple of deployments, and I got to see some cool places, but I really only got to see Australia and then like a couple little islands, just where the ship would stop and you'd get to go out in town and do that kind of stuff. But I had a lot planned for Japan. I wish I would have done more, but a lot of the plans got shut down by the big COVID. So I didn't get to do as much as I wanted to, but Australia was incredible. I left that place thinking like, oh my God, I'm going to move back here. But I spent 4 days in Cairns, got to do like whitewater rafting and did some climbing. And that was just a wonderful experience. It's such a cool place. So much to do. I got to go to Guam a couple times. Guam is a beautiful island. And then in Japan, the culture there is just, it's so vastly different than here, obviously. But everybody's so nice. It's like everybody just like, there's not like the fighting. Like, I mean, I wasn't following like Japanese politics or anything. I'm sure there's some of it, but like just walking around, it feels just like a calmer place to be.
Yeah.
And you really get used to living in that culture. And I made it to Tokyo. I wanted to do more in Tokyo, but I only got to make one trip up there. and just kind of, it was a solo trip. I just went by myself, and I should have planned that better too, because there's so much to do. But I was literally
That's
like,
the theme.
because there's so much to do, I was like, oh, I can just step off the train.
Yeah.
And then I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But I stepped off the train, and then I was just standing there like,
Here I am.
Here I am. Okay. So I went to, I guess one of the big things in Tokyo is like the Shibuya Scramble, the crossing.
Yeah.
And that was crazy. And ended up, I'd like walked across the scramble, so that was kind of cool. And then there's a cafe that overlooks the scramble, so I just sat up there, read my book, and like just observed and kind of lived in that moment for a bit. So Tokyo was cool. There was a really cool shrine I got to see in Tokyo, and then I had wanted to do Fuji for the entire time I was there. That was a huge goal of mine. Like, while you're there, you have to. And there's like a rumor, I guess, that like if you visit Japan and you don't hike Fuji, like the mountain will call you back eventually, and you have to do it. So I didn't think I was going to get the chance to do it, but before I flew back stateside, I had like a couple weeks where I was just waiting to leave.
Yeah.
That my ship was gone, so I was just like in transfer status, and I went up there with a good friend of mine, and we landed the night before. We were going to wake up early and go to the mountain. We did, but by the time we got up to like the starting point, the weather was horrible. There was like an incoming storm, and they were like, nobody can hike today, so they like kicked us off the mountain. I was devastated. Like, it was a huge bummer. And then, so she had an appointment that she had to make, so she flew back when we were originally scheduled to. And then, but the morning we were supposed to leave, I went for a run outside of our hotel, and like the perfect view of the mountain. I can't remember the name of the lake that's right there, but it's like the lake, and then the mountain is just right there. Obviously, like perfectly sunny day, like the best day you could possibly have to hike. So I went for my run, and I'm like running back to the hotel, just looking at the mountain, like, it's just like taunting me. So I get back, and like genuinely, it was a joke, but I made the joke to her. I was like, well, you can go back. I'm going to stay here. And she was like, no, you should definitely do that.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt guilty about it, but I was like, this is a once in a lifetime experience. And she wasn't like butthurt about it or anything. So I got a new flight for the next day and extended the hotel one more night and went up and hiked the mountain, and pushed the pace a little bit. I was kind of using it as like a challenge too, but stop and just try and do what I could to like live in the moment, because that's a once in a lifetime kind of thing. But summited that day, spent a little bit at the peak, and then backtrack, hike down to the 9th station, which is like the last hut that you can get to. Stayed the night there, and it's literally just like a bunkhouse that's got like 60 beds in it, and they just give you food and you stay there for the night.
So it's like a hostel kind of situation?
Kind of, yeah. But then I woke up at like 3:30 the next day and re-summited like in the dark. And then I was like one of the first people at the mountain, or at the peak. And I just sat there and like watched the sun come up over.
That's
like
insane.
It was wild.
How high? How long did it take you to get up there? How high is it?
I don't know the the numbers on it, but I think generally it takes people like 5 to 8 hours
to get up to the top.
Yeah, just from base to peak, and then
wow.
But I was solo, like I was by myself, and I was just kind of like, I didn't have anybody that I had like wait on or anything, and I was pushing the pace card. I think I got summited in like 4 hours.
Wow.
And
was it snowy at the top?
Yeah, it's really cold, and actually I don't think it was snowy. I think it was a little like snow topped, but like it wasn't like it was actively snowing there. But
that's cool.
Yeah, it's just a huge crater at the top, and it's just massive, and then you can see everything. It's incredible.
Did you feel like, because it took me, I think I've been to Japan like 6 times maybe, but always for like short periods. I think the longest was like a week and a half or something like that. And I think it was like the second or third time I was there was the first time I realized that I looked different, and that's why people like noticed. Like I noticed people like double taking.
Yeah.
Because it's so homogenous.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Tokyo, I mean, I was only in Tokyo, so it's like very homogenous. Everybody kind of wears on point suits, and just it's like very busy, and I don't know. It was really strange to feel that
foreign.
Yeah.
It's different a little bit because, like, where I was stationed, like down in southern Japan, it's like a Navy town.
Yeah.
So all of the businesses and like restaurants, like they're all used to it.
Yeah.
And they like are almost catered towards like this, like United States military. Like,
how nice is everybody? Like it's crazy,
friendly.
right?
Like the only time I got like bad vibes or whatever was like if I was in Tokyo or a spot where it wasn't a Navy town.
Yeah.
But even then, it wasn't. It was like few and far between. There would be like certain restaurants. They'd be like, "Dame gaijin," like
yeah.
no white people, but like generally, it was just they're like the friendliest people. It's like the friendliest culture.
It's weird. I mean, I think I was, and it's also I think somebody told me this. It might not be completely correct, but like Japan has like a no unemployment situation, so there's jobs for everybody. And everything is clean. Mm-hmm. Like the cities are like sparkling clean, always, because a job is cleaning a block. Mm-hmm. Like they have so many folks that can do things that it's not like one person's in charge of like giant places. Like you could see, like whenever they were doing construction, there'd be like 30 people holding a sign or directing traffic. Like they just get everybody going. Was the Mario Kart thing happening there? When you were there? They had probably like real life go-kart Mario Kart.
I think there's like
tracks happening in the city.
A Disneyland, or not Disneyland, it was like Nintendo Land.
Yeah.
Like near Tokyo.
Yeah.
You could like do Mario Kart racing and stuff there, but
it's nuts.
I didn't get the chance to do it.
It's a neat spot.
Yeah,
it's a really neat spot. It's very unique. Far though. God, I even though I got you can get direct flights from here, but I had some of the worst, like, I don't know if it's anxiety or just like you're in a plane for so long.
Yeah. And
I hated it.
I got used to just because I had to make the trip so many times, like I was used to it, but yeah, it would be like, and I never got a straight shot. I wish I did, but it was always like stop in Seoul or you'd probably hit 3 different airports in one trip, but I don't know, just read books. Like that's all try to pass the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. So now, like, what is next on your agenda? Like, what are you planning for? Like, you have a big job. I know, like, over the next couple years, and the idea of trying to figure out a future, is a lot,
right,
to take on, right.
It's kind of a weird spot. It's been something that like I've really been thinking about a lot. It's been like heavy on my mind recently. Is my original intentions when I joined the military were to go do a certain job, and that didn't work out for the best in retrospect. Like, I think I'm way happier doing this job than I would have ever been, and I think it's the greatest job in the world. But I built it up to be this thing in my head. And I think that this is kind of a common thing. Like, you always have to be aware of like what your goals are and think maybe just like set goals a little bit further, because I have had this goal for so long. And I basically had to do this tour in Japan in order to be eligible for this new job.
Yeah.
So it was like a little bit of biding my time, just like doing what I had to do. But now that like I'm here doing the job that I have been working so hard to like get to.
Yeah.
There's definitely that feeling of like, what's next?
Yeah.
And it's tough too, because
even though you haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Like, well, so I haven't, I think that's one of the issues that I'm having is I'm not like officially doing the job yet. And So I haven't been in the community long enough to be like, okay, this is my next step, and this is what I'm going to set my sights on. But the other consideration too is like, anybody that's in the military always gets the question like, oh, are you a lifer? Like, are you going to do all 20 years? Are you going to retire? I'm like, that would be great. And I think I'm going to love this job enough that like I could do that if I wanted to. But like, I'm really like at the point I feel like right now where I want to start. Like, I'm 26 years old. By the time I finish this contract, I'll be in like my early 30s, and I think like now's the time where I'm like, I kind of want to settle down. I want to have kids. Like, that's the big consideration. And I don't necessarily think that I want to be doing a job where I'm like going on deployments and doing like somewhat sketchy stuff with a family. So if that happens, I'm not like trying to force anything, but if that happens, like there's a chance I might get out.
I tried to show you how mundane and like rigorous like dealing with family shit is, like while Jake's here, like we're going to doing suburban things like taken to school, like all that kind of stuff. It's interesting. You can't really but it's also great. Like, my kids are great. Mm-hmm. Like, they're really fun. So in another way, it could be just like making it worse, making the pool worse.
I don't know, you said something when we were talking the other day, and it's something you kind of hear all the time, but like you get it from different perspectives, and it might hit a little harder. But you were like 26 to me feels like I'm like. When I hit 25, I was like, you always hear people in their 20s like, oh, God, I feel old.
Yeah, yeah.
And like up until that point, I was like, oh, shut up, you're in your 20s. Like, you're so young. Like, don't do that. And then I hit 25 and I was like, oh, God, I feel old for the first time ever. And then like I was telling you about like, you start putting that pressure on yourself. Like you like think, oh, now's the time. I got to like settle down, start thinking about having kids and that kind of stuff. But you like, 26 is still young, like very, very young, and there's still so much to do, and you kind of just need to take advantage of it while you can. It's not forever.
It's a responsibility thing.
Yeah.
Like, because once you get responsibility that is beyond you, so a kid, for example, you can't put that genie back in the bottle, and that lasts forever. Yeah. Whereas the youth part disappears, like for sure. And like I put that in the context of a bunch of things too. Like I played baseball when I was a kid and up through like college. Yeah. And that's a young man's game. Like even if you're good at it, like the best case scenario, you'll like be in your 30s potentially if you make it to the pros and they talk about you like you're in the retirement home. Yeah. Like, can't believe he's still doing it at 34, you know? There's exceptions, obviously, Cal Ripken and like folks that went in deep into their 40s and continued to play. But like when you're a kid and you're doing that, thinking about that is so short-sighted as like that you're going to be able to keep doing it. You know what I mean? Like sports in general are a young man's game. Yeah. And that finality of it being like you get through a point where your skills start to decline, no matter what it is. And that's really young in retrospect. So it disappears really quick, that youth part where like you feel like you're missing stuff, but it's like every 10 years or so, you kind of reevaluate. And I forget who said it, but like, I always think of it like, it might've been Louis C.K. actually, but he's like, every 5 to 10 years, you're like, and journaling helps because you look back and you're like, God, I was an idiot 5 years ago, and that keeps happening. Yeah. So if that's true, that means you're an idiot now. Yeah. and you'll 100%. Look back and be like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Yeah. Even though you think you get some stuff figured out, you just go back and you're like, oh my God, what was I thinking? That was so, what the hell was I thinking about? Like, I'm so dumb. And that still happens now to me. So, like, I'm sure it'll keep happening. But the point being that there is this level of adulthood that just lasts way longer than the youth part, where like the expectations on you are so small. You have no responsibility, virtually zero responsibility actually to anyone other than yourself, which eventually will go away, and then you can't go back. So it's like, you know, like your youth, your ability to, although I question your ability these days because Jake has fallen asleep on the couch every night by like 10 o'clock. But like,
it's been a busy weekend.
Your ability to like, I don't know, just do stuff that nobody can take away from you does start to go away. So I would say like max it. And even though you've traveled a lot too, which is like some people live to be in their 20s before they've ever even gone anywhere.
Country,
So you might even be thinking like, well, I've done all that. I've seen everything. I'm good. Let's get this real life started. But
I don't necessarily feel that. Like, I don't think that like, oh, I've done all my traveling. Like I still feel like there's a lot of like youth to be had.
Yeah.
But almost like, I think the family thing, like wanting to start a family comes from like the examples that I've had set.
Yeah.
And we talked about this too, but like I see, I'm so grateful for my parents, like the fact that they're still married and like love each other the way they do. Like that's incredible to me. And I think that I've seen that, and like, that's part of why I want that. But I can't remember where I was going with that, but just like to have that example set and see that. And, I think to be able to share it with somebody else is like something that's super valuable. And I know I can't take for granted that like a lot of the things that I'm doing right now are for me.
Yeah.
And that weighs on me too, because like being in the military and you're kind of at their whim.
Yeah.
Like you have some say in the things that you do, obviously, but I chose to go to Japan. But at the end of the day, like once you're locked into that, like I don't have a choice, but it's not like you can just quit.
Yeah.
So like I'm locked in for 3.5 years in Japan. And part of me, like the entire time I was there, is like, you can't help but think about the things that you're missing.
Yeah.
So like, I kind of had to watch my nephew like grow up through pictures, and like I don't get to see him as much as I'd like to, obviously, but like I try to frame that in that the more that I can do now, like for myself, the better person I can be for the more like richness, I guess, I can bring to the people that are in my life, like with experiences and like the growth that I've had. Like I can be a better example for Leo. I can be like a better husband when that comes to it. I can be a better father like when that happens. So like it's tough to try and balance that, like, oh, what am I giving up right now because it feels selfish. Yeah. But in reality, it's kind of like it's something you have to do. Yeah. So I don't know. It's a weird thing to think about.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. I just think it's cool that you're thinking that way because, and you know, maybe it's just, it has a lot of facets to how you got to be thinking that way, but it's a very mature outlook, you know, to have that thought process, I think. And it's, you know, it's inspiring too, to just be like, man, but like also a little of like, you can't say don't do stuff, you know, or like, I would never want to be the like curmudgeon-y, like, you know, or it's like this jealousy thing. Like, man, if I was 25 again, I would like, you're like, I get where you're coming from. I wouldn't be like, you know, don't think about those things. Don't do those things, or you're like wasting things. Not at all, because they're rich experiences. Yeah. But just the perspective of like, 30 will show up
Mm-hmm.
and you'll realize, like, I think that was the Louis C.K. bit, but I think his was about marriage. He was like, you have a girlfriend and you think, oh my God, I have so much responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get engaged and you're like, shit, I could have got out of this.
Yeah.
He's like, and then you get and like every stage you're just like, oh my God, it was so much better then. Like I was free. I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
And so like that freedom part to pursue all kinds of experiences will fade away. And, like the athletics thing, you can't get that part back, that ability to go do that stuff, which is weird. And like you were here to witness the first time my daughter drove to school. And I was thinking about this morning, like I knew it in the moment last Thursday that it was the last time I was going to drive her to school.
Yeah.
But also it didn't hit me
Yeah.
as hard as today.
Yeah.
That was the last time I'm going to drive my daughter to school.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's weird. And it's and everything's like that.
Yeah. You don't know it's the last.
Yeah.
Most of the time you don't know it's like the last time
Yeah.
that it's going to happen.
There's a meditation called the last time meditation. And everything has a last time. And thinking about that is like so profound.
Yeah.
And I knew that one was coming. Like in a little way, I wanted her to fail her driver's test and just be like,
get a couple more rides.
Let's extend this another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's bananas, man. Life is bananas.
I don't know, I'm super thankful. Like I have the most supporting family like I could ever ask for. Like you guys and my parents and my brother and Dana and everybody, like I couldn't ask for a better support system.
Yeah.
And it's been good too, because like being on the West Coast while they're on the East Coast is way easier than being 7,500 miles away, like across the ocean. Like,
yeah.
So just that little bit of that, like that change, just being in the same country as them is like already like I feel closer.
Yeah.
And like I got to spend pretty much the whole month of December with like at home. So that was great too. But yeah, like thinking about the finality of like moments. Like what's one of my favorite Office quotes? I don't remember who says it, but it's like, they're like, I wish you could know you're living the best moments like when you're actually living them, like without and not having to like look back and realize it. Like I think that's one of the biggest things we keep talking about is like living in the moment, and it's huge, and it's something that I need to work on a lot. But I think that's how you get the most value from those final moments, and like you can cherish them a little harder than if you just look back and say, oh, like I didn't realize that was going to be the last time this thing happened.
Yeah. I had a really like profound example of that a couple years ago when my dog passed away. Because, you know, when your dog gets older, it's like a scheduled thing. Like we're going to have to put the dog to sleep and you make an appointment.
Yeah.
Right. And for this dog, it was like in the afternoon. So we had the whole morning with the dog. And I mean, she was really sick and it was bad. And I remember sitting on the porch with her, like being very upset, thinking about that in a couple hours, you're going to be gone.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I just had this like, but you're here now.
Yep.
And we're on the porch and the sun is shining, and this is your favorite spot that we would sit in the sun, and you're here now, and I'm just gonna enjoy this.
Take it all in.
And it was just like this, you know, like those things shake you into that idea that I just gotta be like, why am I worried about later when you're gone? Because right now you're here.
The second you start worrying about like what's gonna happen, you like it completely takes you out of
It's always
that perfect moment.
It's
like,
always coming back to that, and your brain is so fucked up that it's always either going back or forward. And it's just so hard to snap in to now.
Yeah.
And
I just finished a book by one of my favorite authors is Carlo Rovelli. He's like a quantum physicist, and I don't claim to know the first thing about quantum physics, obviously, but
nobody
like,
does. I think it's actually made up.
But he does a really good job. That's part of the reason I like his book so much. Is he will take like these super elaborate and like confusing concepts, and he'll do a great job of like breaking it down simplistically. Like it'll somewhat make sense.
Yeah.
Even if you don't get a full grasp of it, he'll take it and he'll relate it to some like aspect of life. And it's always like pretty profound. And the last one I read, I just finished it like last week, I think. It's called The Order of Time. And a lot of the book was like talking about how like time is like a construct. Like it's not like it's something that we've kind of created, and how like the past, people think that the past and the future don't exist yet, but like maybe it all does exist concurrently. Like it's all this like quantum, this super complex quantum physics talk, but then he relates it as to like the end is just like we're living here right now. Like even if all of it is concurrent or like the future or past doesn't exist, like it doesn't matter because like we're here right now in time and like there's nothing we can do about it. So like why focus on the past and the future? It's like right here. Like this is what matters. So.
Do you think that reincarnation is real?
I don't know. I don't think I think I believe that like maybe energy or like whatever our souls are maybe get like recycled. I don't know if I think of like or believe reincarnation is like, oh, I die and then my soul gets like becomes like a butterfly is born and that's where my soul, like I don't know if I believe that, but I think that like whatever energy our soul or like consciousness is, I think that definitely like I don't think it just disappears.
Yeah.
So I think that like it's one of the reasons that I want to do psychedelics so bad is like I think that can kind of open your eyes up like quite like a ton. And one of the things that I always hear about people that do like psychedelic assisted therapy or just like normal trips or whatever, DMT trips, like there's that like that knowing, like what you speak of, like you just know that everything's okay, like, and you have always known it and you will always know it, but when you like get out of it you kind of lose it just because of life. But one of the other things that I always hear is that, especially for people that like do trips in nature and stuff, is you can like feel the ground and you can feel the trees and like nature and like all of it is just this one big energy. Like it's I don't know if that's been your experience, but like I hear that from other people's trips, and I think that like when we die, like our souls don't just like evaporate. I think they can maybe just join whatever that oneness is, like whatever that is. But
it's like Avatar kind of hit it with the AWA spirit and all that. But,
I think James Cameron definitely did some psychedelics. But.
Well, so the interesting thing is, and I try to explain this to my son, and it made me think about it, which was like, when you have kids, if you had 1 or 20, you would love them all the same. You might not like them all the same, but you would love them all the same. And it's this infinite amount of ability to, it's not even a stretch. It doesn't feel like you're taking away to give to others. And I wonder if, like you're saying, that our construct of this particular life memory and all of the things that happened and your like experience kind of goes away, and you don't necessarily take it with you to the next realm. And also we're at like 8 billion population. So you think, well, there's got to be a limited number of souls, and that can't be real because, when there was 1 million people, if that's the cap on the souls available, like when one dies, you can't jump into another one because now there's 8 billion. But I think it's a similar thing to like the love pool is the consciousness pool, and each one is still equal, no matter how many there are.
Like that.
But it's crazy to think about, and I come back to the fact, much like the Bible or Joseph Campbell stories or there's too much evidence. Too many people have had the same experience and written about the same experience and tried to pass on the same information. I just don't know how some people know enough to bring that forward.
Yeah.
And it can't just be a made-up, repeated story, like, to make us feel better. You know what I mean? And also, life is too profound for it to just be that simple.
I agree.
That we're just like a creature dropped here, trying to figure this all out, and then it's just gone.
I've never understood how people, like, some people can just not believe in anything. And I wouldn't say I like believe in like a Christian God, or like I have a lot of trouble with religion in general, because I kind of feel like they're all just teaching the same thing, and like it's this thing that we don't understand, like just the human condition. It's trying to like all these stories that try to teach us about the human condition and how to live like a good life. But I think that humans just can't, like, we have a desire to define things, especially things that we don't understand. So then there's all these different cultures and stuff that they create this, they try to explain it.
Yeah.
And that's where all these different religions I could be completely wrong in this, but like, I think that's where all these different religions come from, and they all are trying to say the same thing. So it's hard for me to just like pick one. But yeah, I forgot where I was going with that too.
Yeah, it is, when you look at, I think one of the problems is people get pigeonholed or raised in one religion and don't look at the others to see the similarities. And you kind of have to zoom out and say, these are all kind of saying the same thing, different metaphors here and there, different stories. But I think that profound nature of understanding, when those original stories were written, they started as, spoken stories, trying to explain why are we here, what's going on. And they all manifested into the same story that has lasted throughout the centuries. And as you look back, thousands of years, and the new things they're discovering in the writings and the scribblings and the stone carvings and all that stuff, they're all trying to explain kind of the same thing. And that's just too much evidence.
Yeah. No, okay, so I remember where I was going now. It's like, it's too much evidence, and like, and this is kind of coming from my personal experience, like, there's just things that happen that you can't explain. Yeah. And my mom always had this kind of stuff happen to her, and I would start noticing it, and she always attributed to, like, she's a devout Catholic, so she always attributes it to like her God. And I kind of like always attribute it to like the universe, which I always call it like the gods, like whatever it is. I don't have an explanation for it. But I don't understand people that have, and maybe they just don't have things that they think are like crazy or wild or like that kind of stuff that happens to them. But like, there's a lot of stuff in my life where I just can't explain it. Like things just line up too well. And there's in Joseph Campbell's book, what is it? It was a transcript of some interview that he gave. It's like one of his most popular books. I don't remember what it's called. But they said, the interview asked him, do you ever feel like you are being helped by, I wish I had the quote on me. It's like, do you ever feel like you're being helped by the hands? I think he just called it the hands or something like that. And he's like, all the time. Yeah. And like, so that's always stuck with me, is like, oh, it's the hands of God. It's like, it's just like,
Yeah.
that's the universe. And how people don't have any experiences that they can attribute to like that. They just think it's like the way that life is. Like, I don't understand that.
Yeah. Well, I think I told you my buddy reminded me a couple of weeks ago. He's like, you got to understand 50% of the people are running around with nothing in their head.
Yeah. You said,
like zero. They're just,
you were talking about the soul pool and like how like maybe that like there's no limit on the number of souls, but there's probably a lot of soulless people walking around.
Just
empty,
buzzing through.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's a trip. Life's a trip. And I'm really happy we got to hang out.
Yeah, me too.
And now that you're here for the next couple of years, it's going to be super fun to have you around, and we'll definitely do another in studio because this is cool. I'm psyched cool. You're the first in studio podcast.
You said you got some lined up too. Is it going to be?
I have none in person, but I have some really cool guests
slated
that are doing like the call-ins or whatever.
That's super.
But I built this with the intention that I would be able to have more in studio stuff, but then COVID and LA traffic. It's like
worse than COVID.
Not good. yeah. It's pretty brutal. Yeah. But thanks so much for coming up and for doing the podcast.
Thank you for everything, for the hospitality, and it just felt like being home. So it's been wonderful. It's refreshing for sure.
Right on. So have a safe trip back.
We'll try.
And we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
So deep in my heart that you're really a part of me. Yes, I've got you under my skin. I've tried so not to give in. I said to myself, this affair ain't never gonna go too well. But why should I try to resist?